Hello friends, welcome back to another video. Will here, Orlando-based flight attendant. Hope you guys are doing wonderful. I am currently in Philadelphia, home of the Super Bowl champions, and I just worked a flight from Orlando. Now we have a 3-hour sit. Decided to take a stroll, walk around my old stomping grounds. If you're new here, I used to be based in Philadelphia when I began my flight attendant career. Wanted to get the adventure started. Let's walk around and fly back to Orlando. Haven't had a long sit in a very long time. Usually when we do turns we only have an hour 15 max, unless we get to the destination early. But today I guess they did some sort of aircraft change and now our plane is coming from Raleigh-Durham, and for that reason now we are departing late. Now today is day 6 of turns for me, and there is a 1 in 7 violation rule, so the goal is to have me back in base before 10 p.m. So right now my duty off is 10:04, but because the delay is not posted, meaning that it could change and I could get back earlier, the airline has not removed me from this flight going back. Now they only probably would have had me deadheading. That's one of the things about filming in the airport. There are so many announcements that you're constantly getting interrupted. This week I'm doing a bunch of fun things, and so I'm going to do my best to bring you along. We're gonna hang out, and yeah, we're gonna have a great week. I am most likely going to see you when we get back to Orlando tonight. What is happening, guys? Welcome to a couple days later since the last time we saw each other in Philadelphia. After I talked to you at the airport, I went over to my gate and worked the flight back home to Orlando. Everything was fine on that flight, and I went home and I immediately went to bed. So that's why I didn't talk to you guys. It is exactly 2 days later since that day, and yesterday I started making my way up to my sister's place here in Florida. She lives in northern Florida. It is her birthday tomorrow. However, I am going on a trip. So I was like, hey, I'm coming over to your house, I'm staying over, and you know, we're just gonna hang out, go to dinner, and then just celebrate your birthday before I have to go back to Orlando to go on my trip. But what my sister didn't know is that our parents were coming with me as well. So yesterday morning, I put my mom and my dad on a very early morning flight from Aguadilla to Orlando, and so I picked them up at the airport. We went to my apartment, hung out for a little bit because they were tired. We had breakfast, and then we started making our way up to my sister's place. So on the way here, we actually made several stops, and we went to the dollar store to get balloons, chocolates, carts. We got flowers at Trader Joe's for her, and we ordered a cake that we're actually picking up today, and later we're going for lunch. We got to her house last night. I walked in because I have keys, and I was like, oh hey, how's it going, whatever, you know, hugs and kisses. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to the car to get the luggage. And so I go to the car, but then I send my parents, and so my dad walked in with balloons and my mom walked in with the flowers. Everybody was bawling their eyes out, and it was very special. I do have a video, but I won't share it because I want to respect my sister's privacy, and is showing a lot of things in her home. I wish I could share with you guys because it was very beautiful, not gonna lie. And I was like in a little corner, like, the reason why it was extra special is because if you guys remember from the last video, I told you that I was basically waiting to see if I had to go home to Puerto Rico because my mom had an emergency, and for her privacy I won't share details either. But yeah, my sister and I were super worried, and it was just a lot, and thankfully she's doing good and we're all good. But to be able to like all of us be together in the same room, it was extra special. She's very happy, very excited, and honestly that made my heart full. We got to go to dinner last night after that, and we watched some TV together. This morning we just hung out with her as well, and now everybody's getting ready because in a little bit we're going for her birthday lunch. Very grateful for, you know, my schedule flexibility to be able to do these kinds of things, because for those of you that have family in different countries or different parts of the state or even somewhere else, you understand how difficult it is to, you know, have these days and like not be able to be surrounded by your loved ones. I'm grateful for that. Before I head over to lunch, I have to finish my bidding for my March schedule, which on the last video I was like, I'm gonna work on my bidding. Not really, guys. I just looked at the bidding packet and I put what positions I wanted to fly and how many hours I wanted, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this later. And so the bidding closes today at 2 p.m. It is currently 11:42. Airlines are very different. Some airlines will have specific schedules and you're just bidding for the schedules. I feel like the one thing with bidding for schedules is that sometimes those schedules might have the trips that you want, but don't necessarily have the days off that you need. Here is kind of different. We do bid for the positions that we want to fly, the hours that we want. We can put the length of the trips that we want to go on. We can add so many different options. We can even play with our report times, our duty off. We can even tell the system, hey, I want to work consecutively for 6 days or 3 days, or I don't want, have consecutive days. Something that I quickly want to mention, I've been based in Orlando for a little over 2 years now, I believe. And when I transferred here, I was in the 400s. So I was just a couple people away from potentially losing my line. Not really a couple people, maybe like 15 or 20. And I checked my seniority for my March schedule and I am currently 294. Now for last month, if you guys remember, which is this month, February, Wayne and I were going to buddy bid. Can you believe that so far we have not worked a turn together? And it is currently February, 12th. I don't go back to work until the 17th. And I don't even think we have a turn together that week. And we knew that it was going to be a possibility because we talked about training for higher hour turns or trips. But yeah, so far we have not worked together. If you guys also remember, I had to drop to his seniority because when you buddy bid, it goes by the lowest seniority. So I think for last month, which again is this month, I was 335 for a schedule, which even though I was 335, I still got the hours I wanted and we got the days off that we wanted, so it wasn't bad at all. For March, I am going back to my original seniority, which in this case, I moved up a few spots because all the seniors that put their transfers to San Juan got it. And that's why I didn't get it, but it's fine. It all worked out. I made peace with it and I know that I am supposed to be here a little longer. Something that I never talked to you guys about either is those months that I was getting 60 hours awarded. I had the option to add reserve days to get something that's called a mixed line. So that was going to put me over, I think, at least 82 hours if I wanted to. And those reserve days, I could get called to work, whatever the airline needed me to work, as long as I have the days to cover that trip or turn. So, but I never really did it because I felt like I was always okay with playing the game and going an open time and all of those things. But I know a lot of people that did it and it really worked out for them and they didn't even get called, to sit airport standby or work a turn or any of those things. So that was always an option. When I looked at the bidding packet, I'm only interested in 3 layovers. That's LAX, which I won't shut up about it. We have a few San Juan, which I know that I have no chance, but I am going to put them there. And on my third option, I am going to put Boston. And what I do is I copy whatever line I have and then I just adjust, my next preference. So I copied my LAX line and now the second line, I just select layover and I unselect LAX and then I put San Juan. So I know it sounds a little confusing, especially because I can't show you. I hope that you get the picture of what I'm trying to say. So after I do that, I'm gonna copy the same line again. And what I always do, I always put the days off that I want on each specific line to make sure that I get those days. I'm going with Boston. So I didn't even look at how long the layovers were or the credit on the trips. I just would like to go back to Boston as well. I noticed that 2-day trips are probably better for me because I don't need to pack a lot of food and there are less chances of spending money. And I will say though, with the turns, I've noticed that I've saved a little bit more. And so I would still like to go on a trip. I'm not passionate about the turns. So I want to kind of play the game and see if I can continue saving this way while still going on trips. So on the fourth line, I'm going with 2-day trips and I'm going to start with at least 14 hours of credit. So again, I don't even know what kind of trips are in there. I'm just playing it by credit. I can't go too specific on report times, legs per day, or aircraft type, because even though I've moved up in seniority, I'm still too junior to go that specific. We're going with 14-hour 2 days, and then I'm going to copy that line. And we're going with 13 hours, 12 hours, 11 hours. That's the lowest that I will work a 2-day trip for. Whenever I put these preferences, there's going to be a column that says new matches, and those are the potential trips that I will get. So after I've copied all of this, now we're going with the turns, which I was telling you guys earlier that I feel like I may have a chance at higher hour turns. So I'm gonna start with 8 hours. And from there, we're just gonna go down. I always try to do 8, 7:30, 7, 6:30, and 6. I know I can hold 6-hour turns. I did held a few last month, even at lower seniority. So I'm hoping that at least I get 6-hour turns. I'm gonna end up with a total of 13 lines with preferences, and I feel like that should be enough. So let me finish up here, guys. I want to make sure that I'm doing this correctly and I have all the days off. That's all good. And I have a lot of options. For the 6-hour credit turns, I have 181 options, which is not bad. Last month there were less and I maybe got a few. So I am very hopeful that if I don't get on any of those trips with those layovers, I will hold decent credit turns. And then I'm gonna add one more line with my days off and no red-eye pairings. And I'm going to leave it at that. So I'm just gonna finish up working these 2 last lines here. Now when I put my preferences, all I have to do is hit the bid confirmation to make sure that I successfully submitted my preferences, and then it's just a waiting game. That is the very stressful part of this. Even though I'm coming up on, what, 4 years here, I still get just as stressful. When I started bidding for a line, I didn't know that you could copy a line and just adjust whatever you wanted to. So it would take me hours to, bid for a schedule because I didn't know the hacks, and I'm still learning. I don't know it all, but it's definitely a lot faster now than it was when I started. Now we're just gonna have to wait to see what schedule we get for next month. But right now I am going to finish up getting ready so that I can go downstairs and meet up with everyone, and we can go to have this lunch and hang out all day. So let's get to it, guys. Getting out of the shower, I drove back to Orlando and I was dropping off my parents at the airport because they are flying back to Puerto Rico tonight. They were here literally for a little over 24 hours. I am so happy that everything went well with my sister and we had a wonderful time. Right now I am going to deal with my bag because I am going to tell you, because I don't know if I'm going to vlog this trip, but tomorrow I'm going on a 4-day cruise. I'm bringing a big suitcase, and I have to admit that I don't really know how to pack for a cruise. I always feel like I'm gonna need something and I'm gonna be in the middle of the ocean and I can't get it. On the cruise that I went back in September, I honestly don't know how I did it, but this time for some reason I feel like there are more festivities because we're actually going to a port. Last time we didn't. Did we? I don't remember. But this time I feel like there are going to be activities because we are going to the Bahamas one day and then the other day we're going to the island, or Emmy's Island, Ocean Key I think it's called. Look at this whole thing, guys. Definitely overpacking, I admit it, but I still need to put underwear actually. I'm glad I opened that, but I have clothes over here and really I don't even have a lot of clothes. I just pack shoes and my shoes are size 12, so they do take a lot of space. I have 2 different types of sneakers, I have tennis shoes, and I think I have a pair of Crocs under somewhere. Anyway, I still need to put underwear, my toiletry bag, or my Crocs here. I think I have slides here. Yep, I have slides there. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. If you are a cruise expert packer, comment down below some hacks because I definitely need them. On top of that, the one thing I don't like about cruises is that they confiscate your steamer. How am I supposed to go on with life with wrinkled clothes on this ship? I think I have, oh man, I used to have one of those wrinkle releasers. Oh, here. I guess I'm gonna have to bring this, but last time when I went on that September cruise, I think it was Royal Caribbean, and I brought my steamer and they didn't take it from my bag, but I don't know if I want to risk it because that steamer ended up dying on me anyways. But this is a new one and it's expensive, although the water tank is removable, so I wonder if they're gonna think this is a her tool or something. I don't know, I guess we're gonna have to go with this thing. I still also need to pack my personal item. I have electronics. I am still debating if I want to take this. The only reason why I would take it is because it has a whole bunch of USB ports and it would be great to charge all my things. I'm bringing this speaker to get ready for the activities, 2 hats. I have a tote. The reason why we're going on this cruise is because it is our friend Ricardo's birthday, and so his partner custom made these cups. So we all have, I think it's like 5 or 6 of us, we all have these cups in different colors and we all have different pictures of Ricardo. I have to get going with the packing, underwear, oh, my toiletry bag, I need that as well. I need to be up at like 7 or 8 because I know we're leaving at like 9:45, 10. We're leaving out of Port Canaveral, which is not that far from here, but I think our check-in is early. So yeah, I am going to work with all of this mess. I know I didn't say much about today, but really today was such a wonderful day. Cake was so good, guys. Honestly, that cake was just delicious. I think it was amaretto and vanilla. Also, why am I getting alerts from work? 17th. I am trying to trade for something later that day. Do we need to check in? Do we need to check this thing out? The way I am going to disconnect from everything regarding to work when I go on this cruise. 17D. Nope. Not good. I hope that you guys had a wonderful time celebrating my sister's birthday with me and with my family. I know this is a birthday that my sister will not forget. I am so grateful, like I was saying earlier, for these benefits to allow me to bring my parents for a day and a half and to have the flexibility to be able to manipulate my schedule the way I want. This is something that I'll never stop talking about because at first it's hard, like everything, but as time goes by, my schedule gets better and better, which I really like. And yeah, right now, like I said, I'm gonna deal with the mess that I have here, and I am still deciding if I am going to vlog the cruise. If I don't, I'll try to take some pictures and I'll show them to you on the next vlog. But guys, I think I am going to say goodbye now. I'm gonna go ahead and take care of all of this. If you did enjoy hanging out with me this week, go ahead and smash that like button. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'm going to see you next time for another adventure. Take care.